Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report, powered by TNC Network. Let's get it going. Today we speak with Frank Adler in our People of Pickleball episode. Him and his wife, Lauren. They are the co-founders and owners of SantaBarbaraHappy.com, and they make incredible merch. Stay tuned for a giveaway at the end from them. But Frank is a veteran of the toy and game industry, so he created Pickle Everything. It's a word association game, and we talked to him about that and a whole lot more. But before we get to that, hey, check out our newsletter for all the things in the Pickleverse. Check out all the discounts below. Our new sponsor, Crown, has always some cool things going on. Great balls and paddles and grips and you name it from them. Plus, our own merch page as well. We got some discounts there. All right, let's get to that conversation with Frank. Woohoo! All right, today, folks, on People of Pickleball, we have Frank Adler and his wife, Lauren, and him. They started SantaBarbaraHappy.com, great pickleball wear. And I interviewed Lauren several months back and got to know her, and it just blew up. I mean, y'all are supporting leagues and individual brands, and now you're getting into, a game, a card game, a board game, if you will. And we'll talk a little bit about that, Frank, but we always start with how this goofy sport captured you and how it came into your life and sort of took over. I mean, it's one thing, obviously, to start playing pickleball. It's another thing to, create a game and an apparel company. So let's start with the beginning of how pickleball got to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is something that's come along in my life that I never thought would. I mean, I wish I was 20 years younger, to be honest, that I discovered it 20 years ago. But I think it started when we joined an athletic facility here in Santa Barbara, and we started playing. Actually, I saw people playing, and I thought, wow, that's super interesting. I think I can do that. I'd been a basketball player, pickup basketball player my entire life, and played, every week, 2 to 3 times a week, and really enjoyed that. I played in tournaments. I did all sorts of things. And I never thought I would find a sport that would take over my life like this, and that I would actually move away from basketball. So that's saying a lot. So I got into a couple games. Actually, I didn't even know how to play when I first started playing. I think the first game was with my daughter and her boyfriend, and we didn't understand the kitchen line. We came right up to the net and we're just smacking the ball, and we thought, wow, this is easy. I can do this. So we gradually started playing, met some other people that were kind of just starting out and playing, and boy, lo and behold, it just, started out once a week, then twice a week, then 3 times a week, then 4 times a week. Took some lessons, and it got into my, it just got under my skin, and I just was dreaming, and like so many others who have had this experience, and it was just a blast, and it was fun, it was social, it was competitive. And it just appealed to me and checked a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah, and you must be a pretty durable athlete to play hoops for a long time. I mean, that's no joke on your knees, on your back, and everything else. And then obviously you come into a sport where those things are also in play. So do you think the basketball background helps you a great deal? Because there's people getting, dinged all the time from every sport, including pickleball.
Well, I've met some other basketball players who have transitioned over to pickleball, and the common thread is footwork. That the footwork in basketball helps you out. It's a lot of short, choppy steps, and that benefits the pickleball game. I actually found that as time was going on with basketball, certain things were hurting me. Like my knee was bothering me playing basketball. It started to bother me, and I'd have to wear a brace. Well, when I started playing pickleball, that went away. And I don't know if it was from strengthening the muscles around the knee. I'm not sure, but it went away, and I don't have to wear a brace. I don't wear anything. And now there's some other things that start to hurt a little bit, the wrist, the elbow, the this, the that, but much better on me physically than basketball was becoming for me.
Oh, okay. That's good news. Yeah, absolutely. I know. I mean, same with me. I played a lot of sand volleyball for years, but it seems to be the same little things that aggravate me. I have, a little bit of tendonitis in my knee and in my elbow, and things like that. So it sort of comes with the territory a little bit with the game. And as we age, you and I, we're not 29 anymore. So
that's right. Sometimes try to play like it, but
right. Well, I mean, let's talk about that, because obviously you played down in your age group this past weekend and came away victorious in a tournament at a level that is, a good level. You're playing 4-0 plus stuff. So talk a little bit about that, and a little bit about your expectations going into that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, early on in my pickleball journey, I met a gentleman named Spencer Cross. He was starting out playing himself as well, and we started playing. We didn't really know what we were doing, but he sort of become my at least one of my partners, playing partners through the years or over the year, and we just gelled together. We play in a regular game every week. And this tournament came up. It's called Zin to Win. And it's in the Central Coast, up in Templeton here, a couple hours north of where we are. And, Spencer's a little bit younger than me. So I had to play down into his age bracket, which I'm happy to do. I enjoy the challenge. And the tournament's run by Win by Two, and a guy named Doug Bates. He does a great job with his tournaments, and so we were excited to play in it. And we went in and just said, let's have fun and give it our best and see what happens. And we got out of the gate fast, and we're doing well. And we're sort of middle of the pack through the round robin, and got into the medal round, and somehow or other we just got dialed in and things went our way, and got to the championship, and then we won 2 straight. And I'll tell you something though, everybody there, they were great people. Everyone had a great attitude. In fact, we all went to lunch afterwards, and
cool.
And one of the guys even bought us lunch. He said, "You guys are the gold medal winners. You guys."
Very cool.
That was super cool. And so we made some friends this weekend, got a gold medal. And this tournament, it's in wine country, so they give you a bottle of wine if you win. Man. So we got a beautiful bottle of red from the Paso Robles area, and so it was like a win-win-win-win-win. Yeah. And you got hot in March, which you got to do, as you know how March Madness works. So. Yeah,
right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about in the beginning, it's one thing obviously to play this game, play some tournaments, but it's another thing to kind of go into business and start apparel companies. And now, obviously, we'll get to the game in a minute, but talk a little bit about that, because I talked with your wife, Lauren, about it extensively. And I want to hear it kind of from your position, because she's sort of the face in Santa Barbara pickleball. She's doing the Instagram, and everybody knows and loves Lauren. So talk about it from your point of view, getting into this. And, man, I mean, it's rolling.
Yeah, it's doing real well. And you mean I'm not the pretty face, Sleeves? Come on. No, she's
the other pretty face.
Thank you. Lauren's a ball of positive energy, as you know, and she's really got the apparel design background. So this was a perfect thing for her to get into. It all kind of stemmed from our discovery of pickleball, and just noticing what was happening around us, and seeing how everybody was getting into it. And as you know, it's such a social sport. Everyone's talking and meeting, and your friend groups just explode when you get into this sport. Of course, everyone's got the last name Pickle in my phone, but that's a different story.
That's right, PB.
But we were playing, and Lauren had actually started a beach clothing line, sort of
right, yeah.
a surf and beach clothing line. She was doing some local designs with local names on them and so forth. And this tournament, this fundraising tournament came up, and they said to us, they were friends of ours at the club here, and they said, "Would you guys, be interested in making some shirts for the fundraiser?" And that kind of started the whole thing.
Okay.
And so we came up with a design and looked at it, and then Lauren said, "I'm going to make 100 shirts," and I said, "You're kind of crazy. I don't know if we're going to sell 100 shirts. I mean, they're sweatshirts. We're here in Santa Barbara, And
Right.
so that was our coming out party at this fundraising event, and we sold out of those shirts within a couple hours. I mean, they were gone.
Wow.
And we knew we had something right there and then, and then. Lauren's ability to visualize what needs to happen and her hard work ethic has really brought this thing to where it is today. For the most part, I kind of work on the back end of it. I'll do some work on the operations side and on the website and so forth and get things cleaned up and organized. But she's really the driver of all of this. And
yeah, I mean, and her personality is just, I mean, it just, people gravitate towards her. You can tell. Even on, just as something as simple as social media. I can't imagine what it's like to meet her in person because she's people love her. You can just tell all the circles that I'm in, and I'm in, obviously the senior pickleball report. So, but she's everywhere. And it's really cool to see someone who just loves what they're doing, having a good time doing it, and making really cool quality things. So that's what I really love about what y'all are doing. So
appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Yeah. And again, kudos to her, credit to her. And she does have that magnetic personality that draws people in. So yes, I go by either Mr. Santa Barbara Happy or Lauren's husband. That's usually how I'm called.
I always refer to my job as I do the behind the scenes stuff. With my wife.
Yeah, exactly. That's me.
So let's get to the game here. Before we get into that, because, you have a background with games, I understand. And so you developed this game called Pickle Everything.
Yep.
And I watched the little intro video and, people playing on the couch and stuff like that. And we can talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about your background with games and then, sort of the genesis of how the game for Pickle Everything came to be.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in the toy and game area for 30 plus years now. I hate to even say that that's the amount of time, but
it's only 41.
Yeah, exactly. I started out as a kid, right? But no, I've had a great run with it. I was very fortunate early on to work with a gentleman who really became my mentor, a guy named Brian Hirsch, who was the creator of games such as Taboo and Outburst. And some other games. I'm talking, multi-million dollar or million unit sellers. And Brian really showed me the ropes. And for 5 years, I worked closely with him to develop product and probably developed over 80 projects over that time, mostly licensing things out to other companies, the Hasbro's, Mattel's, Western Publishings of the world. Okay. So I did that for a number of years. And then I was fortunate to get offered a position with a smaller toy company that was a manufacturer named Uncle Milton, world famous for the Ant Farm product. And so I ended up being there for 19 years and developed. We went from a one or few item company to the number one science toy company in the world. And I got to do everything in that company: sales, marketing, product development, you name it. And ended up being president of that company. And so that was a fantastic ride. And then and then in 2014, left Uncle Milton and became a consultant and started consulting with a bunch of companies, and then took one more position in Colorado with a Colorado-based company called Relevant Play, and we were doing doughs and it's called Mad Matter, and it was a fantastic dough product, and helped that company grow, and then came back to consulting, and that's when I was introduced to a gentleman named Jeffrey Breslow, and Jeffrey is a toy industry Hall of Famer. He himself is responsible for some of the top games in the world, including Gestures, Masterpiece, Ants in the Pants, and many, many more. He headed up a company called Big Monster Toys out of Chicago, which was renowned within the toy industry, and licensed many projects to some of the top toy companies in the world.
Are you a devoted pickleball enthusiast in search of top-notch gear and services? Look no further than Sleeves Affiliate Shop, your ultimate destination for all things pickleball. Not only will you discover an impressive selection of Sleeves-specific merch gear, but you'll also get the chance to explore gear and merchandise that our terrific show host, Mike Sleeves, has previously reviewed. But that's not all. At Sleeves Pickleball Affiliate and Partner Shop, you'll find links to our friends of the show who offer pickleball-specific online stores, apps, and services. By stopping by and checking out our extraordinary collection, you not only enhance your game, but also show your support for our show, Sleeves Senior Pickleball Report. So why wait? Join us in celebrating the love for pickleball and dive into a world of top-notch gear and services.
Jeffrey retired from the business for a while and became a sculptor, and he's a renowned sculptor in his own right. And then,
of course, he is.
Right? I mean, he's just unbelievably prolific. You would think the guy would have to live 5 lifetimes, I
know people like this. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I feel like I'm around him. But it's amazing how certain people come along in your life at certain times, and I thought I knew most everything about the toy industry and games, and then I meet Jeffrey, and I've learned just a ton more. And so I was introduced through a mutual friend to Jeffrey, and my friend knew that Jeffrey had this pickleball themed game that he had developed, and knew that I had been in the toy industry and loved pickleball, and so put us together, and it was just like a Reese's peanut butter cup coming together.
Cool.
And so we met and just hit it off right away, and in a matter of a few months have launched this game called Pickle Everything, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So talk a little bit about the game itself, because it's really interesting listening to you, because all these games you mentioned, and through my childhood and adulthood, you don't have any sort of, they just show up in your life, and you don't have any sort of idea of where they come from, and the the process it takes to go to market and all of that stuff. So this is really cool for me. But so now I'm playing a sport, and somebody comes up with a game based on the sport. How do you play it?
Yeah. So one of the early things we decided on was, really Jeffrey decided on, was that we didn't want the game to be about pickleball because we felt that, it might be a little too limiting or turn off people that weren't interested in pickleball. So what we did is we themed it around pickleball and around pickles themselves, which are also extremely hot and popular.
Right.
But it's a word game. It's a word game that anybody can play. In fact, right on the front of it, we say no court needed. So, so we really wanted to make this accessible to everybody. People that like Wordle, people that like Words with Friends, Scrabble, anybody that's into word games will love this game.
Much like pickleball, it's very inclusive.
So, and I'm glad you bring up that point, Sleeves, because that's really what we talk about. Is it's very similar. It's inclusive. It's simple. It's easy to play, but it gets very competitive really fast. And and just like pickleball, sometimes you're playing next to a court and people are laughing hysterically because a crazy shot happened. Same thing with this game. All of a sudden, there's a belly laugh out loud. That people can't believe someone said this or said that, or whatever it is.
There are building courts near the base of the Eiffel Tower that will be called
Pears Pickle.
Another game that is my favorite, but way too expensive to play because you need a horse, is
Polo Pickle.
But so it's got very similar elements. They really dovetail together, if you will.
Yeah, very cool. So what's what's your vision for this game? I guess in the short and long term here for it.
Well, this is the start of a new game company. So we're calling ourselves Pickle Everything Games. And this is the first game out of the box, pardon the pun. And so we're going to introduce 3 or 4 games this year, and that'll be on the shelf. We've got the original Pickle Everything game, and then we've got 3 or 4 more iterations of this, including a food deck. Yeah, foodie deck, a kids deck, a sports deck. So we're introducing those, and then we're introducing a boxed game that is actually going to have over 500 cards in it, and there'll be different themes such as pickles, carrots, bananas, different themes to play with. And and so we're excited about that. And then and I don't know if I can talk about this. I'll spill the tea on it. It's we're doing a digital game that'll be out later this year. So a digital version of Pickle Everything. And and I should say the way that this plays is, so you get 3 to 5, 3 to 6 friends together. They can be friends, they can be frenemies, get them together, get a group together. And there's 53 cards in this deck. And every card offers a clue. And every answer must begin with the letter P. Okay.
Oh.
And then what happens is the clue gets read. Someone in the group shouts out the answer that begins with a P, but they have to add the word pickle to the end of the word. And if you don't say pickle, and that's the golden rule of the game, then they don't get it. Okay. They don't get the card. So
sort of Yahtzee-ish a little bit.
Yeah. And the judge is the person who read the clue. Okay. And they have to decide who said it first, because sometimes people will say it at the same time.
Pear Pickle.
Grandpa, you got it first. He's good.
Okay. It's kind of like a line call, in pickleball.
Right.
Was it? Everyone's looking at each other. Did he say it? So that's what makes it really fun. How about if we try one here? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So now remember, you got to say pickle at the end of your answer.
Cool. Yeah. And I got the word that I choose has got to start with a P.
It's got to start with a P. On the oceans, long before pickleball, there were these robbers on ships.
Pirates Pickle.
Got it. There you go. Wow. Simple, right?
Yeah, and I'm not usually. My sister and brother-in-law are like totally into games, and they're always like, Mike, we're going to play this game, and we played it for years, and they always have to re-explain the rules to me. I like this. This is right there.
Right. Let's do a couple more here. This cute black and white bird would waddle across the courts if they had them in Antarctica.
Okay. Penguin Pickle.
You got it. Sleeves. Okay. Pretty easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit of
I like it. You can play this while you're waiting for your match to come on.
Exactly. One more. So difficult to play in this brutally hot capital of Arizona.
Pickleball Pickle.
Phoenix Pickle. So it's a little bit of a curveball, right? Because that P is silent, right?
That's right. And that's the thing. See, and I taught high school in Phoenix for a dozen years, so I should have known that one. So sometimes when it's just a couple people playing, it can be pretty simple. But when you got a group who's vying to throw out that answer first, right? Jump the bit, yeah.
and say pickle at the end, it gets a bit crazy. Then we've added a couple other ways to play it. Okay. So the next so after you've gone through all the cards, now you're only allowed to give one word as a clue. Okay. So now all I can say is arg.
Oh, pirate pickle.
There you go. There you go.
Gotcha.
Okay. So
I like that you have variety. Yes, that's cool. Because you could go through the game pretty quick. But then you're like, oh, there's level 2, level 3, or whatever it happens to be.
That's right. And the third level is actually charade. So playing the same card, if I did this, and I went,
then it would be pirate pickle, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
Multiple ways to play.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it as a Pictionary style too, and people drawing and things like that. I mean, there's all types of different ways to do it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So obviously, you've got a lot on your plate. You're developing games with a new company. You have obviously Santa Barbara Happy. What are you looking forward to over the next year? We're about obviously a quarter through 2024. And what are you kind of looking forward to on the business end, and then a little bit on the playing end?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited about what's going on. I mean, I love pickleball. I love the opportunities that pickleball is creating. I think there's a world of opportunity around the sport itself. We've met so many good people through pickleball who are very well-intentioned and are just excited to be part of it. There's just this very positive energy and aura around it.
Something else. I can't describe it to people unless they're in it.
Exactly. And I've been sort of waiting for this my entire life. That's how I feel about it. And so I'm excited to continue entrepreneurial ventures around it. I have a few other things that are coming as well. So this might not be the last time you and I are talking about some things. Right. I hope. So I've got some, very exciting things going on. And as a player, I just want to keep growing as a player. I'm trying to challenge myself, play at higher and higher levels, wherever I get that opportunity. And I've met some great players who, every time I think I have this game figured out, I don't.
Oh, I know.
I'm learning.
You run into somebody and they go, "Oh, I can't figure that guy out."
Exactly. And I just want to keep growing with it and just get better and better. And I'm training on and off the court, to improve my endurance and strength and balance, and a lot of stretching. And I think overall it's just been incredibly healthy for me.
I would agree. For me as well.
I didn't do a lot of those things playing basketball. I would just go and play.
No, we could get away with a little more back then too. We could be like, I'm just going to walk onto the court and dunk. Well, maybe not dunk, but
yeah, not me.
Not me either.
Not without a step stool.
No. So what kind of paddle are you playing with these days? What's your paddle of choice at the moment?
Yeah, I'm playing with a gearbox control paddle. That's I got it over the holidays. And in fact, my partner and I were both Team Gearbox this weekend.
Right.
He's got the power paddle. I've got the control. And
the newer ones, the newer control and power paddles. Yeah, those are nice. Those are hot.
Yeah, I've got the elongated, and it's phenomenal. It's the best paddle I've ever played with. And I've tried a whole bunch of them, and for whatever reason, it just works with me. And I looked at the power side of it, but I figured I don't need that kind of power. I would rather have that control, and it's fantastic. Love it.
Right on. Yeah, very cool. That's the thing, I review paddles, and the marketplace has exploded. I mean, I started this channel 2 years ago, and I think I reviewed a few paddles, but I think last year I averaged, probably more than one a week getting in the mail. There's just so many companies out there. And I think that's what's interesting is people are kind of aware of the big 5 or 6, including Gearbox, but there's so many other manufacturers out there doing really cool things as well. And it's fun to try. And it's fun, just when I think I found the ultimate paddle, 2 weeks later, something else comes along and I go, whoa, And that's my big dilemma. Like, stick with the one that, because I'm always getting something new.
Yeah. No, I get it. You sort of get this craziness that, is that one better than what should I try that? Should I do this? Right. And the accessories too, right? There's so many great accessories.
Oh yeah. What's happening in this game? I was involved in beach volleyball when it kind of exploded in the 80s. But it's nothing like this. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And I think the cherry on top is it's just, you've mentioned it before, it's just so communal. People are just so cool, and buying you dinner and just hanging out afterwards.
Right.
And if you just look at the senior pro crowd, they're a big family. They compete hard, but at the end of the day, they're hanging out and having a really good time and not taking themselves too serious. So I think that's ultimately what I love about the game. It's people, they fight hard, but at the end of the day, they can have a glass of wine.
Absolutely. That's just a wonderful aspect of it. And, I always say that if pickleball was, if you could describe it as related to something, I would say it's like the social media of sports. It's just, everyone's interacting, everyone's talking about, good things and pushing for each other and cheering each other on. It's awesome. So
yeah, and even at the business end, all the people that are into apparel, they know each other, they support each other. It's really sort of a cool place because everybody kind of finds their little area. And
that's right.
I'm friends with other people that do, have a brand and are doing reviews and stuff like that. So I've never felt any real sense of competition. I feel like we're all like, it's such in the beginning here that it just keeps going and going, and we're like, where is this headed?
That's right. Yeah. Where's it going to be 10 years from now? It's I just want to be living it, and 10 years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Frank, I appreciate your time and everything you and Lauren do. You're a huge part of the pickleball community, and I love the game. I love what you're talking about, what's coming out, and hopefully someday, somewhere, we'll get a chance to play on the court and play the game as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sleeves. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and love what you do as well. And we're very appreciative of you as well. So,
well, thank you. You can find all the information for Pickle Everything in the link below, for Santa Barbara Happy in the links below. We'll have everything down there for you. And hey, hopefully we'll see you in person someday.
Sounds great. Thanks, Sleeves.
Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Frank Adler of SantaBarbaraHappy.com. And hey, Pickleleverything.game below. Check it out. Great game. Have a lot of fun with your friends. And hey, at the end of the day, folks, let's pickle everything. Yeah. Sleeves here with a giveaway. If you're looking to win either a Senior Pickleball Report hat, hoodie, water bottle, plus also we're giving away Pickle Everything, hottest word game out there. All you got to do is tag 2 people in the comments, and also follow these particular Instagram pages as well, and we will pick a winner for you. There'll be 3 winners out there, so stay tuned. And hey, at the end of the day, let's pickle.